I'm Aurora, and my journey with yoga began when this guy trusted 17-year-old me with the keys to this studio so I could clean in exchange for classes. For the past 13 years, I've dedicated my career to giving back that exact gift I was given, and now I'm here to share it with you. Welcome to Work From Home Yoga. All right. Let's start out in kind of like a funky child's pose. So we'll tuck the toes and have the seat back toward the heels, and then let the chest rest over the quads and walk the hands forward. Soft bend at the elbows if you want, and then separate your knees a little bit so your torso has space to rest in between the legs. So I've got this natural kind of pull back, which is stretching the tops of the feet, or the backs of the feet rather. We'll start here, closing the eyes. Maybe shifting the forehead on the mat side to side. Taking some slow, full breaths to get grounded. Arrive in the body for maybe the first time today, or this week, or in a while. And we'll untuck the toes and turn this into a regular child's pose. So relaxing back again. Maybe bringing the knees a little wider. Shifting the hips side to side to send more sensation into left inner thigh versus right. Walk the hands over to the right. You can interlace the left hand on top and pull back. And switch. Over to the right, reach as far as you can, and draw back, lengthening right side body. Back to center. Draw the knees a little bit wider again. So last time, and then either stay reaching the arms forward or lift yourself up onto the forearms. Tuck the chin in toward the chest to lengthen the back of the neck. We'll stay here 5 breaths. If you want to intensify this, reach forward a bit more, lengthen through the side body for the last inhale. And exhale. Good, we'll lift back up, shift forward, draw the knees together, sit back down on the heels, and then allow your seat to fall over to the left side off of your feet. to where you can reach up and over to the right. So stretching left side body. Take a soft bend at the elbow, cactus that left arm, draw it back, walk the gaze up toward the ceiling, and then re-reach and extend. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back up and then switch. Drop your hips over to the right. Reach to the left. Cactus. Draw back. Re-reach. Soften the head, neck, shoulders. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center, seat on the heels, sweep the arms up, interlace the hands, bend at the elbows, bring the hands to the back of the head, squeeze the shoulder blades together. 3 breaths. Softening into it at the end of each exhale. And then arms back up. Take a soft back bend here. And then bend at the elbows. Bring the right hand to the left elbow. Left hand comes to the upper back in between the shoulder blades, and then roll that shoulder around in circles. And reverse. And start to pull the elbow over to the right. And back up. Release and then switch. Left hand to right elbow, circles. Reverse. Pull the elbow to the left. Back up, release. Take a cactus. Reach the arms behind you, interlace or hold onto the elbows. Squeeze the shoulders together. Turning this into a little back bend. And then start to fold forward, lifting the knuckles away from the low back, dropping the forehead to the mat, and hold here. So chin to chest, the shoulders relax toward the ears, maybe you sway side to side, 3 breaths. And then lift back up. Release, arms out wide, right arm underneath the left. Bend at the elbows for eagle arms, hands together, shoulders down, elbows up, and circles. Keep breathing from your center. And reverse. And cactus, arms out, and then switch. Left arm underneath, shoulders down, elbows forward up, and circles. And reverse. And release, cactus, arms up. And then plant the hands, tabletop pose, cat-cow, 5 rounds. Inhale to arch, exhale to round. Breath to movement. Meet in a neutral spine. Keep the right hand planted underneath the face. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Exhale, drop down to that shoulder for thread the needle. Take this right arm, reach it forward. Press down through the left arm to rotate. Gazes up toward the ceiling. 3 breaths. Turn this into a cactus, so reach that arm back behind you, bend at the elbow, rotate open even more, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Interlace the hands together, and then pull the left side of the body toward the left side of the mat to get that stretch in between the shoulder blades and the lats. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Release. Rise up. Sweep the left arm up. Exhale, drop it down. And switch. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, drop down. Left arm up and over. Hold here. 3 breaths. Take this top arm, reach it back behind you, bend at the elbow, lean back into it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Interlace the hands, pull yourself to the right side of the mat for 3, 2, and 1. Release, plant the hands, sweep that right arm up, and drop it down. Shift into puppy dog pose, Anahatasana. Flip the right palm up, bend at the elbow, bring the hand to the upper back. Hold here. And switch, left side. Reach forward, drop back, and hold. And then rise back up, tabletop pose. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Let it be dynamic, let it feel good. We're going to shorten our stance a little bit to where we can plant the right foot completely on the ground, out at a 45-degree angle, so toes out to the side, heel in toward the left side of the mat. This is with the right foot. And then the left foot, we're going to cross it over, come up on the tiptoes, start to walk the hands back a little bit, and then shake the hips side to side. And then switch, left foot down, heel down, toes out, cross, press back, and shake. And back to our downward facing dog. Shift forward to plank. Pause here. Take a side plank by rolling onto the outer edges of the feet toward the right. So the feet won't be stacked. They'll be, the right toes are behind the left heel. So we'll just roll the hips over to the right, keep both feet on the floor, and then sweep this left arm up and over, creating a little rainbow shape of the body. And come back to plank, do the same thing on the left side. Lift the hips, reach forward. And come back to plank. Drop the hips to hover. Modified tuck toe up dog. Gaze over the right shoulder. Back to center, gaze over the left. Back to center, gaze up. And then lift the hips up and back, down dog. Walk the feet forward up to the hands. Standing forward fold, top of the mat. Reach for opposite elbows. 5 breaths. Drop the hands down to the floor. Walk your feet in a little closer together to one another, and then cross your left foot over the right, keeping the heel lifted. And again, shake the hips side to side. You can stay on the fingertips or make fists. Sometimes I find that helpful. Isolating within that right outer hip and IT band. And switch. Back to center, bend into the knees, slowly roll up to standing, chin to chest. Shoulders draw back and down, sweep the arms up. Look up, press the hips forward, soft back bend. And then dive forward like that candy cane shape, chin to chest, reach the arms forward, rounding through the upper back, drop all the way down. Plant the hands, bend into the knees, step it back to plank pose. Drop your hips to hover. Modified tuck toe up dog, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Walk the hands back to the feet. Same thing, bend into the knees, roll up to standing. Shoulders draw back and down. Arms up, soft back bend, chin to chest, dive forward, round through the upper back. Spinal mobility here. Walk the hands forward, drop the hips, gaze up, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Walk the feet forward, top of the mat, forward fold. 2 more like this. Roll all the way up. Take your time. Sweep the arms up. Little back bend. Dive forward. Chin to chest. Plant the hands, step it back, plank. Drop the hips. Lift the hips, down dog. Walk the hands back. Roll up to standing. Arms up. Back bend. Dive forward. Walk the hands forward. Drop the hips. Lift up and back, downward facing dog. And then walk the feet forward between the hands. Take a squat at the top of the mat. Heels and toes out. And roll onto the outer edges of the feet. Opening up through the hips. Meeting back in center, hands at the heart, salute. Pressing the elbows against the knees, lift the chest, 2 breaths. And plant the hands, lift the hips up. Heel toe the feet together, bend into the knees, roll up to standing, sweep the arms up, and side bend to the right. Take a cactus with this left arm, draw back, re-reach, hold for 3, 2, and 1, back up. Reach, bend, draw back, extend, hold for 3, 2, and 1. Both arms up, hands to the heart, flat back, and fold, drop down. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back, drop the knee down, shift the hips back for half splits. Hold here, 3 breaths. Adding in any movement here that feels good. And softly rebend, plant the hands, tuck the back toes, swing the right leg up and back into scorpion. Bending at the knee, opening up through the hip. And straighten that leg, square off through the hips, knee to nose, step that foot forward, between the hands, spin to the left for a wide-legged forward fold. 5 breaths here. Hands underneath the shoulders, rotate, face the front of the mat, drop the back knee down, walk the right foot out to the edge, open up through the hip for your lizard variation. 2 breaths. And lift up, walk the foot in between the hands, tuck the back toes, lift that knee, straighten the front leg and fold, nose to knee. Rebend, step forward, standing forward fold. Take your 2 peace fingers, bring them to the big toes. Lift up and lengthen, and then bend at the elbows and fold. Shake the head side to side. Release, bend into the knees, roll up to standing. Shoulders back and down, arms up, side bend to the right. Back to neutral, side bend left. Back up, both arms reach up, soft back bend. And fold, flat back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back, drop the knee down, shift the hips back, half splits. 3 breaths. Rebend, tuck the back toes, lift the knees, swing the left leg up and back, scorpion. And straighten the leg, square off. Knee to nose, step the foot forward, spin to the right. Wide-legged forward fold, 5 breaths. Lifting up, face the front of the mat, drop the back knee, lizard lunge. Open up through the hip, 2 breaths. Walk the foot in between the hands, tuck the toes, lift the back knee, straighten the front leg and fold, rounding through the upper back. Step forward, standing forward fold. Take the hands, slide them underneath the feet, toes at the wrist creases. Then into the elbows, crown of the head drops down. Full inhale. Big exhale. Good, release, bend into the knees, roll up to standing. Arms reach up. Side bend to the right. And lift up, side bend left. All the way back up. Both arms reach, hands to heart center, flat back and fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, walk it back to plank pose. Drop the hips to hover, modified tuck toe up dog. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Drop down to the knees. Child's pose, 5 breaths. Lift up, shift forward, press back, down dog. Walk the hands back to the feet. Slowly roll up to standing. Reach the arms up. And dive forward, chin to chest. Walk it out, plank pose, drop the hips, lift up and back, down dog. And walk the feet forward to the hands, forward fold. Roll up to standing. Reach the arms up. Press the hips forward, soft back bend. Dive forward, chin to chest. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back. Drop the knee down, low lunge. Keep the hands on the floor for support. 3 breaths. Tuck the back toes, lift the knees, swing the right leg up and back, scorpion. Straighten out the leg, knee to nose, step the foot forward. Rise up, warrior 2. Once you get there, straighten the front leg. Ooh. Reach forward and drop down for triangle pose.
Saw a classic kung fu movie on Tuesday, and I was thinking about your teacher.
Oh yeah, which one was it?
It's called Invincible Armor from 1977.
I'll have to check it out. I love kung fu movies.
Fun. And I was like, I wonder how much of that stuff's actually possible.
Probably a lot of it. Okay, drop the left hand down. We're gonna keep the feet exactly as they are. Just square off through the hips and then fold forward over that right leg. This back foot, gonna lift the heel off the ground, coming onto the tiptoes, and then swing it all the way around toward the top right corner of the mat behind this right leg. So shift forward, reach that leg all the way forward, and then come to sit down on your butt. That right foot is crossed over left leg. Hug the knee in, and then rotate. Take a twist, 3 breaths. Come back to neutral. We're gonna keep this left leg extended. Just continue to bend at the right knee, folding the heel in toward the hip to stack the knees, and then walk the hands forward and fold over that left leg. 5 breaths. Lift up, and then again continue to bend at the knee. This time fold the heel in toward the glute, and then refold over that left leg and see if it feels any different. 5 more breaths. And slowly lift up. To get out of this, right foot crosses back over the left leg. And we use a little bit of momentum to kind of shift our weight forward, plant the hands, bend at this left leg, squeeze the heel in toward the glute, lift ourselves up, and then stuff the feet together in a forward fold. 2 peace fingers to the big toes. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Release the grip, bend into the knees, roll up to standing. Reach the arms up. Side bend to the right. Back up, side bend left. Back up, both arms reach. And flat back fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back, drop the knee down. Low lunge, 3 breaths. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, swing the left leg up and back, scorpion. Straighten, square off, knee to nose, step the foot forward, rise up, warrior 2. Straighten the front leg, reach forward, drop down, triangle pose. Drop that right hand down. Hands frame the front foot. Back foot stays exactly as it is. Fold over that left leg. And start to pivot the back heel off the ground, coming up onto the tiptoes. Take a little hop, send that back leg all the way forward. Drop down to the floor, does not have to be very graceful. And then twist to the left, 3 breaths. Unwind back to center, keep the bottom leg extended, stack the knees, and then fold, 5 breaths. And then lift up, keep the bend at the knee, but fold the heel into the glutes, so the knees are now next to one another. And refold over that right leg, 5 more breaths. . Okay, get back up. Cross the foot over. How did we do this? Actually, I don't remember. Just get forward at the top of the mat. However you want to get.
I wasn't sure how to do it last time either.
Yeah, it was kind of complicated. Okay, this time hands underneath the feet again. Toes the wrist creases. Hold here, breathe in. Breathe out. Release, bend into the knees, roll up. Reach up, last time, side bend right. Back up, side bend left. Back up, both arms reach. And fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, walk it back to plank. Drop the hips. Lift the hips up and back, down dog. Walk the hands back to the feet. Roll up to standing. Reach up. Dive forward, chin to chest. Walk it out. Drop the hips. And back to child's pose, 5 breaths. And take your time to lift up, swing the legs off to one side. Come to lie down. We're going to once more bend at the knee, fold the right heel in toward the glute to stretch the right quad. So you can either keep the left foot planted, extend that leg, or bring the foot to the inner edge of the knee so that way it opens out to the side. 3 options. Right quad stretch. Leaning back as far as you would like to. Breathe here.
Right quad stretch. So is this like a half?
Half saddle pose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Breathe from your center. we'll switch sides. And release. Keep the left leg straight. Hug the right knee in. Cross it over the body for a twist. And switch sides. And back to center for Shavasana. If you want to feel a little bit more grounded, you can always slide the bolster underneath the legs. Another way I do this without any props is just by having feet on the floor and knees up toward the ceiling, slightly in toward one another, and then resting hands on the low belly to focus on breathing from center, relaxing the hips, and relaxing the tailbone toward the floor. A couple slow, full breaths here. And start to bring movement to the fingers and toes. And draw the knees in toward the chest, roll them around in circles. Turn to roll over onto one side and lift yourself up. Come to a seat. Relax the hands on the knees. Set them straight. Relax the shoulders, the arms. Find that connection to your breath. And draw your hands to your heart. Thankful for everything that the body did for us throughout our practice and that it does for us always without us even having to think about it at all. Take a full breath in. Big exhale. Thank you. Namaste.